On today's menu, a delightful recipe that you'll absolutely love. Buddha's Delight.
Right, so there are actually quite a few ingredients, but don't feel intimidated because the cooking process is actually very, very simple. First off, we just need to rehydrate some of these dry ingredients.
Bring a good amount of water to boil for the dry ingredients. 6 dry shiitake mushrooms. 5 grams wood ear mushrooms. 35 grams bean curd sticks. Hot water. Rehydrate the ingredients for about 10 to 15 minutes.
So while those things are rehydrating, we're going to chop our veggies.
Chop down about 100 grams of broccolini into bite-sized pieces. Two small carrots, roughly chopped. One red bell pepper, roughly chopped. $70 grams water chestnuts, chop in half. 100 grams napa cabbage, roughly chopped. Six tofu puffs, chop in half. Remove the rehydrated mushrooms and rinse under cold water. Chop down the wood ear mushrooms. Remove the stalks on the shiitakes and chop them in half. Half tablespoon potato starch. 1 tablespoon mushroom water. Stir. 4 tablespoons soy sauce. 1 teaspoon dark soy sauce. Give it a stir and your sauce is ready. Saute pan. Medium heat. Good drizzle of olive oil. Peppers. Saute for a couple of minutes. Add in and saute the broccolini for a couple of minutes. Napa cabbage. Water chestnuts. Half cup chickpeas. Saute for a couple of minutes.
Alright, so chickpeas are not traditional in Buddha's Delight, but I really like them and they add just a little bit of meatiness to the dish.
1 cup corn. Rehydrated ingredients. Tofu puffs. Add in 1 cup of the mushroom water. Sauce. Saute for a few more minutes until the sauce is nice and glossy. Plate. You can now make this delightful dish with absolute confidence. Add dry 350 grams of extra firm tofu and place in a bowl. Use a fork to completely mash the tofu into a crumble. Two pieces of garlic, finely chopped. Two small pieces of ginger, finely chopped. Four sticks of green onion, finely chopped. Set aside some green onion for garnish.
I usually like to make a big batch of dumplings because everything's already set up, but of course you can make more or less depending on how many dumplings you like to make. I'm just going to use these store-bought dumpling wrappers today, but of course if you'd like to learn how to make these from scratch, I'll leave a link in the description box below leading to a previous episode where we make the dumpling wrappers from scratch as well. Really quite easy, but of course it is very time consuming, so definitely not a bad thing to have these on hand.
Non-stick pan. Medium heat. 3 tablespoons avocado oil. Garlic, ginger, and green onions. Saute for 2 to 3 minutes. Tofu crumble. Saute for 5 to 7 minutes. One tablespoon soy sauce. 3 teaspoons dark soy sauce. Saute for another 2 to 3 minutes. Transfer the crumble into a bowl. One tablespoon potato starch. Roughly chop 100 grams water chestnuts. Transfer the water chestnuts to the bowl and mix well with a spoon. Push the mixture to the sides of the bowl and let it cool for 8 to 10 minutes.
It's crucial that you wait for the mixture to cool completely before wrapping them in the dumpling wrappers. But that is basically the hard part done. Super, super easy. And if you love super easy recipes like I do, then definitely check out the Vegan Ramen Cookbook and the Cook with Confidence Cookbook that has most of the favorite recipes from the cooking show here on YouTube. I'll leave a link in the description box below where you can check these out, take a sneak peek inside the book, and of course order your signed copy. Let's fill those dumplings.
Have a cup of water and a baking tray lined with parchment paper ready. Scoop a generous teaspoon worth of mixture onto the wrapper. Use your fingers to compress the filling. Spread a little bit of water around the filling and begin pleating the dumpling. Repeat to make the rest of the dumplings.
You know, I was in Hong Kong a little while ago and I was at a restaurant where I was just watching these guys fill and pleat these dumplings, and man, they were so fast. I mean, this dude could probably fill and pleat 8 or 10 dumplings in the time that I could do one. Just incredible. So if it's not perfect the first time, definitely don't worry about it. Right, so for freezing, leave them on the tray and freeze them in the freezer as is. So this way they're not touching each other. It'll prevent any sort of sticking. And afterwards, put them in a freezer bag or a container or something like that. You just have to cook it a couple minutes more if you're cooking straight from frozen. But definitely don't throw all of them raw like this into a bag or a container and then put them in the freezer, because that will risk them sticking together. So definitely leave them on a tray to freeze.
Bring a small pot of water to boil for the dumplings. So of course, the main event is this amazing
smoky chili oil that I always have on hand and I absolutely love. I'll leave a link in the description box below where you can check this out and make this really easily at home. I mean, just look how ruby red this is. Just incredible. 2 tablespoons chili oil. 1 teaspoon soy sauce. 1 teaspoon black rice vinegar. Mix. Boil the dumplings for 3 to 4 minutes. Couple more minutes if cooking from frozen. Plate. And this, of course, is the best part. Spoon over the delicious sauce. Garnish with green onions. You can now enjoy these chili oil dumplings with absolute confidence. Bring a pot of water to boil for the noodles. Two pieces of garlic, finely chopped. Small piece of ginger, finely chopped. Chop 60 grams of broccolini into bite-sized pieces. Chop 2 sticks of green onion into bite-sized pieces. One king oyster mushroom, roughly sliced. Pat dry about a quarter pound of extra firm tofu and thinly slice. Half an onion, sliced. Cook the thick rice noodles for half the time to package instructions, in this case 3 minutes. 120 grams will be good enough for one generous portion. Stir the noodles occasionally to keep them from sticking.
Strain out the noodles and set them aside. Half tablespoon potato starch. Quarter cup water. Stir to dissolve the potato starch. 1 tablespoon rice vinegar. 2 tablespoons soy sauce. Half tablespoon dark soy sauce. Add 1 tablespoon hoisin sauce and stir. Non-stick pan. Medium heat. Drizzle of avocado oil. Sear the tofu for 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Season the tofu with a little bit of salt and pepper. Set the tofu aside.
Of course, this recipe would not be complete without that delicious chili oil I made in the previous episode. This will add that delicious, smoky, kind of little spicy flavor. I'll leave a link in the description box below to show you how easy it is so you can make this as well really easily at home.
Pan back on medium heat. Add in 2 tablespoons of chili oil. Onions, garlic, and ginger. Saute for 2 to 3 minutes. Broccolini and green onions. Saute for 1 to 2 minutes. King oyster mushroom. Saute for 1 to 2 minutes. Add in the noodles followed by the sauce. Half cup bean sprouts. Saute for another minute. Add back in the tofu. Give the pan a good stir and you're done. Plate. You can now make this delicious classic stir fry with absolute confidence.
This is definitely a dish to get excited over. That is mind-blowing how packed with flavor. That is really just incredible. Visually, it is just stunning. It's so rustic and literally looks like you were served this at a restaurant. Really, really beautiful. Those noodles really absorb that incredible, delicious sauce that's salty. It's a little bit tangy from the rice vinegar, has a bit of that sweetness and the umami from the hoisin sauce. And it's just incredible because that sauce, when we made it, it looked like so much liquid, but because you add that potato starch, it glazes those noodles. It just gets this beautiful caramel dark color with this kind of beautiful sheen. Because we sauteed everything in that delicious chili oil, you also get a hint of that kind of subtle, smoky, spicy flavor. And that tofu also absorbs all of that incredible flavor. I mean, really, you started out with this white tofu and these white noodles, but they turned into this delicious, beautiful caramel dark color. The king oyster mushroom adds a little bit of umami as well as that delicious kind of chewy texture. The tofu adds that meaty texture, and the broccolini adds that kind of nice crunch. The bean sprouts and the green onion also adds a little bit of that crunchiness, but the freshness that it adds really contrasts with that kind of deep, earthy, dark flavor of this noodle dish. You really get so much flavor packed into everything, and everything works so harmoniously well. Visually beautiful, so incredibly easy to make, simple, humble ingredients, and you can literally turn your kitchen into a restaurant. This is definitely a dish I would have to make every single week. There's definitely a good reason why Chow Fun is such a classic dish. It really is all around amazing. And if you love easy and delicious recipes like this, then definitely check out the vegan ramen cookbook or that Cook with Confidence cookbook. I'll leave a link in the description box below where you can check these out, get your signed copy, or take a sneak peek inside the book. As well, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. In that same link, you can also pick up your free ebook that I put together just for you that has 5 super easy, unintimidating plant-based recipes to help you get started with cooking today. As well, in that same link, you can also watch the first entire class of that sushi plant-based masterclass. That is a 5-class series designed and curated to help you make delicious and stunning plant-based sushi right at home. That is the masterclass I always say that you'll really eat up. As always, remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll see you in the next episode.